All right, here we go. I wrote this book in 2009. Actually, it took me 2 years to complete this. This was a way for me to deal with what had happened when my dad died. And like it says on the back of the book, it says, uh, for it allowed me to breathe differently, to observe who I was and how and have now become, and to make sense of why I am. Uh, for the credit must go to my creator, my source, to divinity, for it was through the divine's willingness to enlighten, eagerness to reveal, that I found the voice to cry for help. It is not your conventional book, it just goes all over the place, but it's kind of like how I was feeling. That's why I called it Observing the Journey Through. How I was feeling about so many things, politics, about relationships, about life. And I tried to just put together a compilation of different things that I was thinking about uh, and condense it into this book. It took me, like I said, 2 years to finish. Now, it's something I want to read, and this is called My Message. It's on the politics. I'll read it very quickly. It says, the Chinese say, may you live in interesting times. And there are no more times more interesting than our today. No time more challenging than our now. We have reached the age of awareness, a time I choose to call the intuitive age. Whether others choose to acknowledge this or not, I'm convinced the presence and significance of this new age will be just as relevant to our continuity as the industrial, technological, and information ages were and still are. We have all been dazzled by the incredible achievements of science and technology and embraced the numerous contributions from the arts. We have seen movies transform from single frame relays to unimaginable graphic conceptions. We have come to depend on the accuracies of modern economics. With each passing day, the world becomes smaller. We see people triumph over barriers that once separated and come to terms with emotions that once alienated. We are the source of our new progress and the energy behind that success. We have proved beyond all reasonable doubt that we can coexist as a species. We are confirming with our actions daily that our destinies lie in each of our hands, and that everyone's contribution is just as significant, just as relevant, regardless of disposition. This age, this intuitive age, does not represent a time for personal glorification, even though the skills of the individual must be acknowledged and appreciated. This is not the time for unnecessary accumulation or insatiable greed. This is not the time for misplaced priorities or lack of courage. This is a time when all will begin to walk consciously towards harmonious growth. A time to realize that no matter how small, minor your contributions are, just as long as we are doing the right things, whatever we do, whatever contributions we make will go a long way. This is a time to create deserving legacies for our offspring, a time to outshine our forefathers. Something on my nose. The change required is not a visual one, but a visceral one. It's about a change in perceptions and belief systems. It's about a change in projected limitations, priorities, and feelings. Ideally, it's about a change in focus. We embraced the principles and ideologies of our founding fathers and evolved with them, modifying them to suit our needs. We had moved through the ages with the intent of making our existence on this planet a more pleasant one, but somewhere along the lines, we derailed. We focused more on installing fear to conceal greed, accumulating waste, promoting divisions between brothers for economic gain, alienating and oppressing those who appeared different. Those who were given the task of administering, those entrusted with the powers of the people, have spent more time misrepresenting it than representing the notion of it. We have become a world of callous excesses and expanders of waste. We have allowed fear and greed to determine the premise of our successes. We have become a people without a coherent voice or ambition, with more energy focused on identifying our differences than our combined aspirations. We have all seen cases where individuals drunk with power have sanctioned and even participated in heinous acts in their plight to hold on to it. It is true. If you want to know a man's character, give him power. This misrepresented idea of leadership can be seen in nations plagued with corruption, where human life appears to lack value, where the extremely wealthy are mostly politicians and public officials, where one can see an ever-increasing suppression of basic freedoms. These attributes have seen many nations stumble instead of stand, and have permeated genocide instead of celebrate humanity. History has shown us evidence of our own savagery, whether justified or not. Most of these events have brought upon us nightmares of a past riddled with levels of incomprehensible inhumaneness. We are now realizing that our current path could not only lead to our extinction, but also lead to the annihilation of our planet as well. We are approaching our critical point, our precipice, a point when we either choose to evolve consciously together as one or face the consequences of our short-sightedness. The audacity to hope for a better tomorrow is the fuel driving some of us towards achieving this shared resolution. I borrowed that audacity of hope from the title of Obama's book because I thought he was a good guy there. Okay, let's repeat that. The audacity to hope for a better tomorrow is the fuel driving some of us towards achieving this shared resolution. It serves as evidence that we can all walk towards preserving our humanity as well as our environment, so it too can continue to maintain us. The inherent belief that better days are ahead has led most of us to this point, and because of this, I believe faith will endure, and dreams will soon be realized. Today, the 25th of May, 2009, I celebrate a milestone, a milestone in my own life. It has been 39 years to this day since I was born. I feel privileged to have seen the world grow alongside myself and learn its wisdoms from all experiences that I have been fortunate. Today, I want to stand and be counted as one who took an oath to be part of the human solution and not its problem. I concur that the best way forward is with a unified voice. For even though we all have individual opinions and attributes, we all still share a unified future. We all still share a unified future. It's very interesting. I have to expand on that someday. I stand aware that I have the ability and so must assume responsibility in creating the tomorrow I wish and intend by living for it today. So, alongside, we can all march towards a future that our children and their children's children so deserve. We must all represent a beacon that shines in the direction of the haven for our kind. We must all aspire to take the journey destined to make the world we live in more habitable, embracing all of its mysteries and reveling in its splendor. With each passing day, as we become more aware of the powers our thoughts and perceptions have, we must continue to make more conscious decisions and maintain certain disciplines that we know are beneficial for all concerned. We have an obligation to Mother Earth to preserve her, nurture her, and embrace her with the same love and affection as she has revealed over time. I pray we all take a leap of faith towards the tomorrow we deserve, as the path to our salvation lies in our hands. Take care and God bless. Pertinent today. I wrote that 11 years ago. And I read that and thought I could have written that yesterday. And it'd still be pertinent today. Strange. Real strange.